There is something strange about life that most people never fully realize. The harder we try to control everything, the more anxious we become. The more desperately we chase something, the more it seems to move away from us. We are taught to push harder, work faster, fight longer, and hold tighter if we want happiness, success, love, or peace. But the Stoics saw life very differently. They believed true power does not come from force, it comes from inner calm. And maybe that is the reason so many people feel exhausted today, not because they are weak, but because they are constantly resisting life itself. They are trying to force every door open, trying to control every outcome, trying to predict every future moment before it even arrives. But life does not respond well to desperation. In this video, we are going to explore 10 Stoic principles that can completely change the way you see manifestation, peace, success, and emotional freedom, and stay until the end, because the final principle may completely change how you view delays, failures, and the timing of your life. The first principle is the art of detached desire. There is a paradox that most people never understand. The more desperately you want something, the more it slips away from you. The tighter you hold on to a person, an opportunity, or a dream, the more anxious and powerless you become. And eventually, your entire emotional state starts depending on whether or not life gives you what you want. This is where suffering begins. The Stoics never said you should stop dreaming. They never said ambition was wrong. What they taught was something much deeper. There is a difference between wanting something and needing it in order to feel whole. The moment your happiness depends on an external outcome, fear enters your life. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of losing, fear that you are not enough unless things go your way. And people can feel that energy. Desperation has a weight to it. It pushes people away. It clouds your judgment. It turns every decision into emotional survival. But when you learn to desire something without emotionally collapsing, if it does not happen, you become different, calmer, more magnetic, more powerful. Because people are naturally drawn to those who are emotionally grounded. Think about the most attractive people you have ever met. Not physically attractive, energetically attractive. They are usually not the ones begging for attention or trying to prove themselves. They are calm in who they are. They are not chasing validation every second. They are okay with themselves. That kind of peace creates presence. Detached desire means you still dream, you still work, you still move forward, but deep inside, you understand something important. If it comes, beautiful. If it does not, I will still be okay. That mindset changes everything, because now you are no longer acting from fear, you are acting from trust. And maybe true power is not found in controlling life. Maybe true power is found in not panicking when life does not move according to your timeline. If this speaks to something inside you, leave one word in the comments: peace. The second principle is the power of the present moment. Most people spend their entire lives mentally living somewhere that does not exist. Their minds are trapped in the future or haunted by the past. They replay old mistakes. They imagine future disasters. They wait for some perfect moment where life will finally begin. And because of that, they completely miss the only moment that is actually real, right now. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to stay within the present moment, because he understood that your power cannot exist in yesterday or tomorrow. It only exists here. The problem is that modern life trains people to be mentally scattered. People eat while scrolling through their phones. They spend time with loved ones while thinking about work. They sit in silence while their minds are racing through fear and anxiety. Their bodies are present, but their minds are somewhere else. And over time, this creates emotional emptiness, because life is not experienced through thinking. It is experienced through presence. When you become fully present, something strange starts happening. You begin noticing opportunities you used to ignore. You hear your intuition more clearly. You feel more connected to simple moments. Your mind slows down enough to actually see life. And the irony is this: when you stop obsessing over the future, your future often becomes better. Because calm awareness leads to better decisions, clear thinking leads to better actions, and emotional presence creates stronger relationships. Some of the most beautiful moments in life arrive quietly: a conversation, a small opportunity, a random meeting, a peaceful afternoon. But anxious minds miss these moments because they are too busy waiting for something bigger. The Stoics understood that peace is not found in controlling tomorrow, it is found in fully living today. The third principle is accepting resistance. Life will challenge you. That is guaranteed. There will be rejection, delays, failure, betrayal, loneliness, confusion. There will be moments where everything feels unfair and heavy. Most people see these moments as signs that life is against them. The Stoics saw them differently. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The obstacle is the way, not around the way, not separate from the way. The way itself, that means the very thing hurting you, may also be shaping you into someone stronger." Think about the hardest periods of your life. At the time, they probably felt unbearable. You may have thought life was punishing you, but later, many of those painful moments became turning points. They made you wiser, stronger, more aware. Pain changes people, not because suffering is beautiful, but because struggle forces growth in a way comfort never can. No one develops resilience during easy seasons. No one discovers inner strength when everything always goes perfectly. And this is what many people fail to understand. They want the reward without the transformation. They want peace without discomfort, wisdom without struggle, confidence without failure. But life does not work that way. A seed must disappear into darkness before it grows. Pressure creates diamonds. Resistance builds strength. Sometimes rejection protects you from the wrong path. Sometimes delays prepare you for something bigger. Sometimes pain forces you to become the person you were meant to be. The moment you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" your entire mindset changes. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of life, and you start becoming a student of life. And maybe the strongest version of you is not being destroyed by this season. Maybe it is being created by it. If you are going through a difficult season right now, remind yourself quietly, "I will get through this." The fourth principle is inner authority. Most people are emotionally controlled by the outside world. A compliment makes them feel valuable. A criticism destroys their confidence. A rejection makes them question themselves. A bad day makes them believe their life is falling apart. Their emotional state constantly depends on external conditions. The Stoics believe this is one of the fastest ways to lose your freedom. Epictetus taught that no one can truly harm you without your permission. That idea goes far beyond emotional toughness. It means your peace should not be controlled by every event happening around you, because the moment your happiness depends entirely on external validation, fear takes over your life. Fear of losing approval, fear of being misunderstood, fear of failure, fear of not being enough, and fear makes people emotionally fragile. Inner authority means learning to build stability within yourself. It means understanding that your worth does not rise and fall based on opinions, money, or outcomes. This does not mean you stop caring about life. It means you stop handing your emotional power to everything outside you. That kind of emotional independence changes people. You stop trying to prove yourself constantly. You stop chasing approval. You stop reacting emotionally to every little thing. And ironically, that calm confidence makes people respect you more, because the world is naturally drawn to those who are emotionally grounded. The strongest people are not always the loudest. Often, they are simply the calmest. The fifth principle is strategic non-action. Modern culture worships constant movement. People believe being busy means being productive, so they fill every moment with action, noise, and pressure. But the Stoics understood something very important. Not all action creates progress. Sometimes the thing exhausting you most is your constant need to force life to move faster. People often act from anxiety, not clarity. They rush decisions because silence makes them uncomfortable. They chase endlessly because stillness feels scary. But desperate action often creates more confusion, not less. Strategic non-action is not laziness. It is wisdom. It means understanding that some things cannot be rushed. A seed does not grow faster because you dig it up every day to check on it. Relationships do not deepen through control. Healing does not happen instantly. And life itself unfolds in seasons. The Stoics believe there is power in knowing when to stop pushing. Sometimes the most intelligent thing you can do is pause, observe it, breathe, wait, because calmness creates perspective. When your mind becomes quiet, you begin hearing your intuition again. You begin seeing paths your anxious mind could never notice before. Nature itself teaches this lesson constantly. The sun never rushes to rise. Trees never panic during winter. Yet everything unfolds exactly when it should, and your life is no different. Some doors open only when you are emotionally ready to walk through them. The sixth principle is gratitude. Most people live in emotional scarcity even when they already have so much. Their minds constantly focus on what is missing instead of what is present, and over time, this creates permanent dissatisfaction. The Stoics believed gratitude is not just positivity. It is a form of emotional wealth. Marcus Aurelius practiced gratitude, even while facing war, illness, and pressure. He trained his mind to appreciate what still remained instead of obsessing over what was missing. Because scarcity does not begin in your bank account, it begins in your mind. When you constantly think life is incomplete, you unconsciously train yourself to feel empty, no matter how much you achieve. But gratitude shifts your entire emotional state. Suddenly, small things feel meaningful again. A peaceful morning, a healthy body, someone who still loves you, another chance to begin again. Gratitude reconnects you to life. And strangely, the more grateful people become, the calmer they feel, the less desperate they become. And the less desperate they become, the more life begins flowing naturally toward them, because abundance grows best in peaceful minds. The seventh principle is emotional sovereignty. Your emotions are not your enemy, but if you let them control your life, they will destroy your peace. Most people react automatically to everything. A rude comment ruins their mood. A disappointment changes their entire energy. A difficult moment turns into emotional chaos. The Stoics understood that emotional strength is not about becoming numb. It is about feeling deeply without losing self-control. That is real power. A strong person is not someone who never cries. It is someone who can feel pain without becoming consumed by it. Because when emotions completely control you, anyone can control you. One insult can ruin your day. One rejection can break your confidence. One difficult season can make you lose faith in yourself. That is a dangerous way to live. The Stoics believed emotions are like waves. They rise and fall, but you do not have to drown inside every emotion you experience. When you learn to pause before reacting, your life changes. You stop saying things you regret. You stop destroying relationships during moments of anger. You stop allowing temporary emotions to make permanent decisions. And slowly, you become calmer, clearer, stronger. Because the greatest victory is not always defeating others. Sometimes it is mastering yourself. If this part resonates with you, leave one word in the comments. Calm. The eighth principle is the philosophy of enough. The world constantly teaches people that happiness exists somewhere ahead of them. More money, more recognition, more success, more status. And because of that, millions of people spend their lives emotionally chasing a finish line that keeps moving. The Stoics saw this clearly. Seneca said that the poor man is not the one who has little, but the one who endlessly craves more. That idea changes everything, because many people achieve the exact things they once dreamed about and still feel empty afterward. Why? Because external success cannot permanently fix internal emptiness. If you cannot feel enough now, more things will not magically create peace later. The philosophy of enough does not mean giving up ambition. It means refusing to postpone your happiness until life becomes perfect. It means learning to appreciate the present while still growing toward the future. When you feel enough internally, your energy changes completely. You stop competing constantly. You stop trying to impress everyone. You stop living from emotional lack. And ironically, that emotional fullness attracts more opportunities into your life. Because desperate energy repels, peaceful energy attracts. True wealth is not measured only by what you own. It is measured by your ability to feel grateful for what already exists. The ninth principle is authentic living. One of the most exhausting ways to live is pretending to be someone you are not. Many people spend years wearing emotional masks. They say what others want to hear. They chase goals society tells them to chase. They hide parts of themselves just to feel accepted. But slowly, this disconnects them from who they truly are. The Stoics believed authenticity creates freedom. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly not to become trapped by other people's opinions, because when you build your identity entirely around external approval, you lose yourself. And the truth is, people can feel authenticity. They can feel when someone is pretending, trying too hard, performing constantly, but they can also feel when someone is real. Authentic people are calmer because they are no longer exhausting themselves trying to maintain an image. And yes, Living authentically may cause some people to misunderstand you. Some relationships may fall away. Some paths may no longer fit your life. But authenticity also attracts the right people, the right opportunities, the right direction, because life can only truly align with you when you stop pretending to be someone else. The 10th and final principle is trusting divine timing. Human beings are impatient by nature. We want answers, results immediately, success immediately. We want life to unfold according to our personal timeline, but nature never rushes. A tree takes years to grow. Seasons arrive slowly. Healing happens gradually, and human beings are no different. The Stoics believe there is wisdom in timing beyond our understanding. Sometimes delays are not punishment. Sometimes they are protection. There are doors that do not open because you are not ready to walk through them yet. There are lessons you still need to learn. There are versions of yourself you still need to become. And often, the greatest blessings arrive unexpectedly, through paths you never planned. When you trust timing, your mind becomes lighter. You still take action, you still move forward, but you stop panicking every time life moves slowly. That emotional trust creates peace, because real strength is not controlling the future. Real strength is continuing forward, even when you cannot fully see the path ahead. And maybe some things in your life are not late. Maybe they are simply arriving at the exact moment you are finally ready to receive them. In the end, Stoicism does not teach us to escape life. It teaches us to walk through life with more peace, more awareness, and more emotional freedom. When you stop desperately fighting every moment, when you stop forcing every outcome, when you stop measuring your worth through external validation, life begins changing in ways you never expected. Not because the outside world suddenly becomes perfect, but because something inside you becomes stronger, and once that inner shift happens, everything else starts feeling different too. If this video spoke to you in some way, take a second to like the video, and if one part truly stayed with you, write this in the comments. Relax. I trust. I receive. And if you want more videos like this, subscribe and continue this Stoic journey with us.